Wanda is coming at us to wreak havoc and break the multiverse apart. The MCU won't be the same after Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we're not ready for it. Trust me when I tell you this, because come this May, Marvel will let the Scarlet Witch loose on us. She'd do anything to get her kids back. Doctor Strange broke the rules to save the universe, but when Wanda does it, the multiverse will be broken apart. Get ready for her villainous arc, because it is on the horizon. Hey there, quirky people! The trailer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has broken the internet. Everyone's been talking about it, and people will continue to talk about it for this entire period until the movie comes out. But today, I'm gonna give you something that seems totally legit after the new trailer launch. Apparently, this leak hit the internet about 5 months ago, and my favorite scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, has brought it forward once more. I'm going to issue a big spoiler warning, as this leak will surely end up coming true. So this is sort of a final warning. You can leave if you change your mind, because after knowing these things, you might wish that you hadn't. Okay now, I'm assuming that those who wanted to go have probably left. So I'm gonna start. As I've been saying for months now, the leak also starts with, and I quote, "Wanda is the main villain. Shuma only has a small role as a demon Wanda summons to bring Chavez to her." Unquote. Shuma here is Shuma Gorath, who has been renamed as Gargantos, as Marvel legally could not use the name Shuma Gorath. Until last year, many people thought that Shuma Gorath would be the big bad villain like Dormammu. But it is Wanda, and we're gonna relate to her so hard. Marvel really knows how to make us feel for the villains. And they are now taking a bold step by turning Wanda into one. Okay now, back to it. The Darkhold is the reason for Wanda being the villain. It's corrupting her mind with the idea of doing whatever it takes to get her kids back. It makes her think that they need help and are in danger somewhere in the multiverse. As we clearly saw last year, this is how WandaVision ended. So she'll be breaking reality to find them. Continue. Wanda is trying to reach them, but she can only use astral projection to travel through the multiverse. So, Wanda uses the Darkhold to summon demons who could bring Chavez to her. But the demons destroy everything in their way, including Chavez's reality. In the comics, Chavez's home, which is the utopian parallel and was destroyed by black holes. Her mothers sacrificed themselves, but Chavez survived and ended up in the Marvel Universe. Now, as we've already seen in the trailer, a monster does attack the utopian parallel, and it had Chavez in its grasp. But then the Super Bowl TV spot showed us how Defender Strange helped her escape. Both of them go through the star portals that Chavez created. Defender Strange ends up in some other reality and probably goes on to become the zombie Strange from the Super Bowl spot. Meanwhile, Chavez gets to the MCU and seeks the help of our Doctor Strange. At this moment, Strange is attending Christine Palmer's wedding. And then Gargantos gets there and attacks New York. Again in the trailer, we saw Christine and her fiancé come out of the hall along with other people at the wedding, and they were all tensed. So this should be when Gargantos wreaks havoc in the city. Then Wong and Strange come in to fight Gargantos and save Chavez. Strange ends up beating the monster, and then he talks to the lonely girl. After that, Strange goes to Wanda, and we get the orchid scenes where Strange asks Wanda about the multiverse.
It's what?
What do you know about the multiverse?
He figures out what's going on, and then Wanda shows her real face. We hear these dialogues where Wanda talks about how Strange broke the rules. As you can clearly see, Strange is wearing the same clothes here that he was also wearing in the Orchid Garden scene. This is followed by a battle where Strange tries to bring Wanda back to her senses. But there's no use. Then somehow, Strange and Chavez get to Kamartaj, but the leak does not tell us how. Wanda also gets to Kamartaj and blows the place up looking for Chavez, just like we saw in the trailer. So to escape Wanda, Strange and Chavez run into other realities thanks to the powers of Chavez. They go through a lot of crazy places as we saw in the trailer. One of them was a universe where they turn into blocks. One of them is animated. And one's got dinosaurs, which could be Savage Lands from the comics.
bloodsucker bugs on them.
Wait, what?
Ultimately, after a few hops through the multiverse, like Rocket and Yondu traveled through the galaxy, or perhaps how the Ancient One sent Strange on a crazy trip through the multiverse, Strange and Chavez get to a Mordo variant who's the master of the mystic arts in his universe. He is the Sorcerer Supreme who is a part of the Illuminati, which is a police-keeping force of the multiverse led by Charles Xavier. Obviously, Charles is played by Patrick Stewart, and as we saw in the trailer, Master Mordo tricks Strange and Chavez and brings them to the Illuminati. They put Chavez in a prison cell, which was seen in the Super Bowl spot. Meanwhile, Strange stands through trial in front of the Illuminati to answer for bending the laws of nature multiple times in his universe. I've got the list of Illuminati members and cameos as well, but you guys would have to wait a while for that, as it will take a whole separate video. Okay, now, back to the leak. This is where we get to the twist part. Wanda performs the scene that we've been seeing in the trailers, and she finds where Strange and Chavez ended up. As established before, Wanda cannot physically travel through the multiverse herself, but having seen how she can use her astral form and her physical form together, she sends her astral projection after the two. So, to get to them, she possesses the body of this universe's Wanda, who is just a normal housewife living with her kids. This is why we get to see two different Wanda variants in the trailer. After possession, she attacks the Hall of Illuminati, fights the Maria Rambeau variant who is Captain Marvel in this universe. Ultimately, this housewife Wanda, who now has the powers of MCU Scarlet Witch, kills some of the Illuminati. I'm assuming that Tom Cruise's Iron Man variant and Anson Mount's Black Bolt could be among them. While this is happening, Strange is fighting Master Mordo, who is yet another villain of the film. There's total madness all around. Then variant Wanda tries to get Chavez out. But before she can do that, Professor X enters her mind and then tries to free it from MCU's Scarlet Witch. He's also trying to reach out to the MCU Wanda and help her come to her senses. But again, that attempt also goes in vain. Ultimately, the Scarlet Witch does get what she wanted. But when she finally gets to her kids, she realizes that they were never in any danger. The Darkhold was indeed manipulating her. They were living happily with their mother on a farm, who is the other Wanda variant that MCU's Scarlet Witch possessed. The kids want their real mother back and fear the Scarlet Witch. Wanda had already been through a lot of traumas in the MCU, but the unacceptance from Billy and Tommy truly breaks her and she disappears. But before that, she actually cast the same kind of reality warping hex that she did in Westview. This time, it's not just one little town. Her immense power goes through the entire multiverse, and true madness gets unleashed. Strange and Chavez get back to the MCU, but the multiverse is more broken than ever. This is where the leak ends, but I'm guessing that this would be sort of a reset button for the MCU. Doctor Strange hit a small reset button for Spider-Man in No Way Home, but now Marvel will use Wanda to make any changes they wish to make. I'm guessing what Wanda did to the multiverse will get her kids back into the MCU. But they'll be older now, and they'd be ready to join the Young Avengers along with America Chavez. The No More Mutants moment of the House of M comics can be flipped on its head here. Instead of erasing mutants, what Wanda does might allow mutants to exist in the MCU. It will be interesting to see what else could be changed. Maybe the Eternals could be completely written out of the MCU since the film did not work for Marvel. Maybe Inhumans could be introduced. I guess we'll see. My theory is that being inspired by the multiversal Illuminati team, Doctor Strange would form an MCU-based Illuminati team to prevent the universe and the multiverse from threats like Wanda. After all, the leak says that Wanda disappeared, so she still might be a looming threat. Although, I believe that whenever Wanda returns like Doctor Strange 2, it will be at a key moment and begin her redemption arc. Meanwhile, the new threats for the Illuminati could be the Worldbreaker Hulk or Kang the Conqueror.
No. No.
Overall, the league does seem like the real deal for sure, but a lot of gaps need to be filled in it. For instance, we don't get to know of Defender Strange's fate, who turns into a zombie. We don't get to know whether Wong survives. But the rest of the leak matches the trailer perfectly, although we have to keep in mind that it came out about 5 months ago. And Doctor Strange 2 went through substantial reshoots after that. So, some elements may have been changed. I guess we'll see how much the movie would deviate from this leak. But now that you know this much about the film, tell us how you feel in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so we can continue watching with such content. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!